who's going to be running Vanquish later this week, DECosmic.
What's up? How's it going?
All right, so before we get started, Tempest, do you happen to know if EX Colors won the bid war for this run?
I am checking right now, good sir. We seem to indeed have EX in the lead, way over Parent. If you want to know the total, we're looking at a good $548 over the 136. So I think we've got ourselves a clear winner, if any. Scruff, take it away whenever you are ready. Good luck, have fun, my dude.
Wonderful. All right, so I'll count us down and we'll get started here in 3, 2, 1. Devil May Cry. So you know how Devil May Cry 5 is the game about Virgil in human form hiring Virgil's brother and Virgil's son in order to defeat Virgil in devil form so that he can become Virgil? Well, now this game has even more Virgil. Yes, that's right, because Virgil was recently added to Devil May Cry 5 as a playable character via DLC and as part of Special Edition. And Virgil comes with a few unique gameplay twists, and he's a little bit different from the main cast of DMC5. So if you have played Devil May Cry 5 before, you might remember that the main campaign is centralized around Nero, Dante, and V, and the three characters kind of have their own unique levels, their own unique bosses, etc., etc. But Virgil doesn't really have those, with the exception of missions 19 and 20, which we will explain a little bit later. Instead, Virgil gets to play through the entire Nero Dante V campaign by himself. So all the levels, all the bosses from that game, you'll be seeing me go through them tonight as Virgil. In addition, Virgil also has a lot of unique gameplay elements. So in the top left corner, you'll see the big blue bar located above the health bar, which is called the concentration meter. We'll explain that a little bit later. But in the bottom right, you'll also see me cycling through some weapons here. And Virgil has 3 of them. He has Beowulf, Mirage Edge, and Yamato. Now, Beowulf and Mirage Edge are mainly used in the speedrun for movement, and Yamato is essentially our bread and butter when it comes to combat. And the reason for that is because Yamato allows us to use a move called the Judgment Cut, which is a crazy powerful technique that essentially allows us to cut through enemies and bosses like butter. And I'll let Cosmic explain a little bit more about that.
Yep, so Judgment Cut is a move where you hold down the melee button and you'll see Virgil's sheath flash, or his hilt will flash. And if you do this with this very specific timing, he'll have a better, he has 2 separate animations for it. And if you do it with a specific timing, you'll be able to chain Judgment Cut into itself 3 times. And for some reason, I guess they were thinking of us over there at Capcom HQ, they decided to give Virgil this right off the bat. So right from the start, we're going to be able to do Judgment Cut times 3 to everything. And with the concentration meter, the higher that concentration meter goes, the more damage those Judgment Cuts are going to do. So Scruff is going to summon the Doppelganger here, which is just a copy of Virgil that he can summon, and it will mimic his Yamato moves. So guess what? We had 3 Judgment Cuts that we could chain, now we technically have 6. So he's just going to be able to stand at range here and just blow this boss up entirely. And basically the way you would chain those 3 Judgment Cuts into each other is just by like holding and tapping, over and over again. And you have to do this for a lot of the runs. So this run really tests the consistency of runners over the course of, an hour plus to chain Judgment Cuts, just back to back to back and ad infinitum, basically, as the situation calls for it. You also saw that Scruff got a no damage bonus there. The economy in this game is constituted by red orbs. They're the money that we're going to be using. And when we get no damage bonuses, it will double the amount of red orbs we get from the style rank, which are the letters that you see on the right-hand side of the screen slowly filling up. The style rank will reward us for mixing up our attacks or doing a lot of damage. Spoilers, we're just going to be doing a lot of damage. We're not really going to be doing the whole mixing it up thing. Maybe in a couple of years. But, it's Virgil. He's not about style, he's about the finesse, so to speak. And the concentration meter will also reward us for, quote-unquote, playing like Virgil. So if we're, just landing attacks, not taking damage, it's going to stay at full too. Going back to the economy as well, we want to get a lot of no damages early on in the game so that we can get tons and tons of money to stack up, because the cool thing about Virgil compared to Nero, Dante, V is that he's a greedy guy. He gets the economy all to himself. Nero, Dante, and V have to share it. However, since we don't have to share any money with anybody, we can stack Virgil up to as much power as we really want. you know, and just stay motivated the entire run. So, yeah, he likes to just swim in dollars, dude. It is what it is. We're also going to see Sin Devil Trigger here being activated. The blue bar underneath the health bar, there's one blue bar above and beneath the health bar in this game.
Lots of blue. Yep.
Lots of blue. Yeah, now we even have the EX color on, so there's even more blue than usual in this run. So what was I gonna say? Yeah, so the Sin Devil Trigger is basically Dante and Virgil's like Bankai, their ultimate anime form. And Virgil is kind of privileged in that he can just dip in and out of Sin Devil Trigger whenever he pleases. Dante actually has to get to a triple S rank before being able to do this, as well as having a move called Quad S. Virgil has this innately. So you're able to just dip in and out of Judgment Cut, or in and out of Sin Devil Trigger, you know, freely throughout this run. You stack it up at the beginning of every level, and then we just have it the entire time. Because not only can he just dip in and out of it whenever he wants, there's like a 3-second window where it costs nothing. So we can sit on full bars of Sin Devil Trigger entire levels, and then we're gonna use, you know, that Sin Devil Trigger. We're gonna dump a lot of it at the boss, basically. So we're gonna be stacking resources for the levels.
Yeah, and if you did see Cosmic's run of DMC5 at, I believe, AGDQ 2020, the whole Sin Devil Trigger movement is one of the big differences between Virgil and the Nero Dante V run from the main game. Because Nero doesn't actually have access to Sin Devil Trigger until the end of the game, or until after the game.
Yeah, a lot of Virgil's kit, comparison to the main cast, is that he's super front-loaded. So this early game that he gets going is super strong compared to Nero, Dante, and V, who they really kind of have to spool up and then get strong for the late game. Virgil, right out of the gate, he's just really strong already. He's got Devil Trigger, he's got Sin Devil Trigger, he's got his Doppelganger, he's got 3 weapons, you know. He's got Judgment Cut that he can chain 3 times. He's just an absurdly strong character. Definitely designed to do lots of wave clearing. So we're gonna get into the Goliath fight here as well. This is gonna be the first actual boss of the game. So Scruff is gonna be activating Doppelganger while in Sin Devil Trigger, and he's just gonna cut down this boss on top of the roof. So this is a big test here too, because I'm gonna mention this now. There's 4 different timings to Judgment Cuts in this game. So there's a timing with Virgil alone as a human. There's a timing with him with Doppelganger as a human, and then there's 2 other timings where he's in Sin Devil Trigger for that. So not only do you have to chain Judgment Cuts 3, you know, back to back to back, the entire run, you have to swap between various timings as the situation calls for it. So execution in this run, consistency with your timing, sort of just getting in the zone and really, like, you know, entering that focus state, that's really, really helpful in a run like this. So it's in very stark contrast to a run like Nero, Dante, and V, where yes, execution is important, but you know, in those runs, adapting to the situation, you know, with enemy behavior and different decision making with like all the routing and everything, that's really, you know, their whole thing is all that like variety. And with Virgil, it's all streamlined into this. It's like just a giant machete basically that just cuts through the entire game.
Yeah. Now it is possible, because in the previous mission, you saw Goliath kind of jump down into the church. It is possible to kill him on the roof, but unfortunately, I dropped a little too many Judgment Cuts, which it is a lot harder on Devil Hunter, to be fair. So,
yeah. I would also like to mention that since this is Special Edition on PlayStation 5, it's got something we like to call Turbo Mode, which, yeah, it increases the clock of the game by how much percent? 20%?
20%.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is a thing that's in other Devil May Cry games, but with this run, I mean, the Judgment Cut timing is even more precise.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just because of that turbo mode.
Mm-hmm. And the PS5 in general, like Special Edition in general, was a huge quality of life upgrade for DMC5 as a speed game, because not only did it add turbo mode and, you know, another difficulty setting for new game runs, which was Legendary Dark Knight, it gave us like really, really strong loading times. So you know, like this run in its current form is pretty much only possible RTA with the PS5 or the Xbox Series. So you know, really nice hardware that we're running on here.
Yeah, and I believe this is actually the first PlayStation 5 game that's run out of GDQ, so it is pretty much the perfect game to showcase the power of the PS5.
Very cool. Also, there is a skip on this level, but wait for it. Virgil's literally too fast for it to be really worth it in a marathon setting. Or even really like in RTA right now, we haven't even incorporated it into Devil Hunter because this character is just so fast, and the old skip that was on this was actually patched out in Special Edition. I'm partially to blame for that, so you can thank me.
Thanks.
But the new version is so inconsistent that we haven't really worked it into. We haven't really worked out setups for it because it's just not worth it. It maybe saves like 5-10 seconds with this character, and you'd have to get it first try. So
yeah, it is worth it on Legendary Dark Knight runs, but
yeah,
we haven't optimized that category nearly enough to even implement it just yet.
Nope. Also, the Sin Scissors there. Another difference between Nero and Virgil here in this mission is that Nero would want to parry those scissors before they could, you know, so they could be put into a vulnerable state, and then you could take them out. But Virgil just doesn't care. He can just cut them down as they're spawning in. Same with Artemis here. There's attacks that she has. She's not gonna get to do them, dude. It's unfortunate. And there she goes. Just.
Yeah, it is actually disgusting to see just how quickly Virgil melts through health bars. Like,
Yeah,
I'm so used to it, but yeah, it just always surprises me.
I remember when, you know, the category was first getting routed and we started, you know, slowly optimizing all of our judgment cuts and everything and all of our movement, and just times just started getting lower, and it's like, wow, Virgil just, like I said, just a knife through butter, like a giant machete through a stick of butter on this game. Really strong.
1,000-degree Yamato cuts through demons.
It's like the hot dogger from 3 remake, but like a katana.
Yeah, cool bit of movement tech here, I guess. So Virgil can actually kind of position himself at the exit of an encounter, just because his judgment cuts are able to hit enemies from distance. So we kind of want to position ourselves near the exit, so that way we can leave as quickly as possible. Which is something you can't really do as Nero, Dante, and V.
Yeah, Nero, Dante, and V. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say this is a good time for donations because we're just slowly running across this bridge here.
All right, sounds good. I definitely have quite a few donations. In fact, I have a donation, a $25 one from Tic Tac, our Shadow of the Colossus runner, saying, "Thank you so much for having me. I am so happy with the result of the run, and I'm glad everyone enjoyed it. Best of luck to all the runners." Thank you so much, Tic Tac, and great job with your run.
That run was amazing.
We also
if you
got
haven't seen it, definitely check it out.
We also get a $15 donation from Smash Villain. Proud of you, Scruffy. You've come a long way, and it's been a joy to watch you get to this point. Enjoy the moment. Much love, brother.
Yo, shout out to Smash.
We also got a $25 donation from Arrow saying, "Another great Dave speedrun. Really looking forward to Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition. Thanks to the staff for the event, and good luck to the Scruffington on the run."
Thank you so much.
All right, so this mission right here, this is actually the first of the V missions. So normally we would have a couple of skips that we would do with V here. This is the thing too about Virgil in this game, is that the Nero Dante V run is quite skip heavy at this point in the meta. There's a skip on at least a few levels that are unintended, and Virgil himself is pretty clean in that regard, you know. If you really like glitchless runs, or runs that are really heavy, like execution based, with very little RNG, as you notice, like a lot of things are just kind of getting cut down before they have a chance to play. Like this boss here, Nidhogg. By the way, when you go into Sin Devil Trigger, you can spawn 3 Judgment Cut bubbles at the same time. So it just so happens that Nidhogg has 3 heads, so that boss just dies instantly.
Yeah, he has abilities. They're not worth explaining. He's on the screen for like 5 seconds.
Exactly. Yeah. This is.
Oh, yeah. You took a sip of your drink. Nope. You don't get to watch the boss fight. Too bad.
Okay, so this is the second of 3 purchases in the run. So in the first mission, we got speed and rapid slash, just allowing us to run faster and a movement tool here. And here we're gonna get 2 purple orbs, lunar phase 2, heavy rain blades, and hell on earth. We'll get into what some of these do a little bit later. Purple orbs, what you gotta know is that, so first of all, the abbreviation for them is PO, which, you know, is the first 2 letters of pomade. We know that Virgil loves his hair gel, so he's gotta have more of that PO when he's trying to go through the game fast. It's aerodynamic, okay? So anyway, what purple orbs actually do is they increase the amount of maximum devil trigger that you can have. So we use this not only as a way to, you know, spend it on other things like heavy rain blades, which is going to freeze enemies in place. We're also going to use it to store more doppelganger for some fights, particularly bosses. So if we can stack up and, you know, sit on more doppelganger meter, we can shred bosses even faster. In those instances where we want to pop both Sin Devil Trigger and Doppelganger, go to town with some judgment cuts, you know, as well as in regular fights as well.
I'm still smiling at the hair though.
This is also a level that I have not seen in a while because we skipped this entire level in Nero Dante V. So this is a little bit nostalgic, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, V has a skip here where essentially he just goes straight to the final boss of this mission, but Virgil unfortunately has to play the whole thing out, although probably not too unfortunate because he can just judgment cut his way through everything.
Yeah, this is only one of a few levels where the main characters are actually toe-to-toe with Virgil in, you know, the speed that they go. I think we have time for donations, right?
Yeah, that was a great time.
All right, sounds good. Just a moment as we get on to, how about Professor Shinobi with $20? A bit of a haiku at the first part. First donation this week, DMC made me pull the Devil Trigger. Money goes to help the second bonus game GTA 3 incentive. Best of luck to the runner and keep those haikus coming. We also got a $200 donation from Kevin L saying, happy to see and support GDQ again. I can't wait to see it back in person soon. Thank you to the runners and staff for putting on another great event. And we also got a $20 donation from Jukebox Fever. This is the first GDQ I am watching, and I am so glad that I have found it. All of the speedrunners that I've watched so far have done amazing jobs and have been the most exciting part of my day. I love that they are supporting such a great cause and have gotten me excited about playing games again. Looking forward to the Bayonetta speedrun, and good luck to all the participants this week.
So, you might think to yourself, well, this seems like a lot of these enemies are just kind of standing around. So what would happen if Virgil was against an enemy that was super mobile? Well, I'm happy to tell you, dear viewer, just about the same thing happens. Virgil's still coming for you, even if you're riding around on a horse and you got a pretty sick suit of armor and a lightning sword. So what Scruff's gonna do here is he's gonna use heavy rain blades and then go into the Hell on Earth super move, because Virgil has 3 moves in this game, 1 for each weapon, that are classified as super moves, and they do tons of damage. He can do these 4 times, by the way, in Sin Devil Trigger, so yeah, this boss just gets literally nuked. Shout outs to Akuma, because that's an Akuma move for sure. So if Virgil were to use this in human form, he would only get 1 usage out of it for a full Sin Devil Trigger bar, but we can actually just dump 4 of them if we're in Sin Devil Trigger while we use the super moves. It's just, it's almost disgusting, honestly.
Fun fact, that's actually the first time I've ever done that in a run. I was literally telling Cosmic just in practice that, you know what, this actually seems faster. Because he's been doing it, but for some reason I haven't. I don't know, I guess I'm a little bit out of date on my tech.
But then he got caught by Gilgamesh for the incident.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is Gilgamesh. We were just talking about Shadow of the Colossus. Say hello to Devil May Cry 5's version of Shadow of the Colossus. This boss is actually a very good example of turbo mode in this game, because you saw that the first walk cycle for this boss, during it anyway, Scruff was able to get over to it in time in order to get it to lower itself immediately. That's only possible in turbo mode because this boss is not actually treated as an enemy. It's treated as part of the level or an environmental hazard. And in turbo mode, environmental hazards, or, parts of the level, they don't move any faster. So Scruff is moving at 20% more speed while the boss is moving at vanilla speed. Little things like that allow us to just get over to the boss quicker so that its first walk cycle is not initiated. And in vanilla DMC5, we would have to wait on it in order to complete its first walk cycle before getting it to lower itself so we could, attack it a little bit more. Nothing doing though. It's fine. Colossus down. We're gonna head back to the shrine with Wander. It'll be a nice time. So
yeah, unfortunately we just killed aggro on the previous mission.
That's unfortunate. I like that horse too.
I know.
So in mission 7 here, we're gonna be going through Nero's half of the mission. This is another departure too from Nero Dante V, because we always use V on this mission because, spoilers, he can also skip the entirety of this mission up to the boss. And whenever you have an option to pick multiple characters, where you would normally have an option to pick multiple characters, Nero or Virgil will always go through Nero's path. So, like father, like son, I suppose. So this is going to be, a little bit of a nostalgia trip too here. The early routing of DMC5 where Nero was meta on this mission. This was another thing that kind of changed over the course of the game. So many changes have happened in this game in just 2 years. We've switched metas a couple of times on this mission. Virgil got introduced. The skips have been found. It's just a great time to play DMC5, to be honest.
Yeah, I actually think I started running this game after the V-skip for Mission 7 was found. Because I remember, Cosmic, you were telling me a lot about how disappointed you were that we couldn't do the rawhide strats as Nero anymore.
Yeah. Yep,
So I
really
was
cool
late to the
strats.
train on that, unfortunately.
It's fine though. We got a fast run out of it. So sacrifices were necessary to make time faster.
I can't tell if that pun was intended, Scruff, but
It definitely was not.
late to the train.
Oh wow,
Oh,
yeah, I
okay.
forgot there was a subway in this. Oh my goodness.
Let's just
It's been
pretend
so
that was
long.
totally intentional.
It's been so long since I've been out inbounds in this mission that I totally forgot there was a subway here. So for once, Maxie, you have went up to me on the pun game. Congratulations.
Once in a lifetime thing, really?
I'll get you back. It's cool.
Yeah, how many times though?
Enough.
Yeah,
a
enough,
lot.
like 600 or
Maybe 601. On the table. Also, this is a pretty good fight to demonstrate, what managing the dipping in and out of that Sin Devil trigger as well, because Scruff really wants to manage these waves of multiple enemies. And so he wants to be in Sin Devil trigger when multiple enemies are up. He doesn't want to waste those multiple Judgment Cut bubbles on a singular enemy. He's also fighting these dudes on the stairs, by the way, because they're counted towards the mandatory enemy count. So even if he beat all these enemies at the top of the escalator here, he would still have to go back down and fight those guys. So he's gonna just take them out, easy peasy, real quick, and then be right here in the middle of the room to take care of this. That scissor came out swinging. My goodness. What I really like about voice crack. What I really like about the concentration meter in this game, compared to the MC4 as well, is that Virgil in this game really rewards you for being active in order to build back your concentration. Name of the game usually is just that you're going to use Judgment Cut, but in DMC4 you got rewarded a lot for standing around. In this game you got to do something. Also, these enemies are about to go bye-bye with another Hell on Earth. These are the Proto-Angelos and the Scudo-Angelos. Sorry, they're not going to get one shot. They're going to get 2 shot. And
Ooh, 3 shot.
that guy survived somehow.
This man did not want to cooperate.
All right, so what's going on here story-wise, by the way, with the rest of the crew, is that normally this would be the point where they're having the run back with Eurus and the Demon King. Virgil is actually just hunting down his own Heartless in this case, if we're to make some sort of canon out of this, him going through the levels on his own. Because Urizen would be his Heartless. Kingdom Hearts. We also have time for donations here, too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I do have a $1,000 anonymous donation simply saying heart.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That is absolutely generous. And I do want to mention that our current donation total is $294,000. Quite over that. We are almost at 300,000 and it's only day 2. So keep it coming, chat, because you guys are doing spectacular. We also got an anonymous $50 donation saying, I am the storm that is approaching. We also got a $25 donation from the storm that is approaching. Now, I'm motivated. We also got a $50 dono from Rage Cage. Always proud to see Devil May Cry represented at GDQ. Good luck, Scruff. We're all rooting for you.
Thanks a lot, Rage. Yeah, Rage is a DMC 3 runner. Very cool.
Shout out to the DMC community. They always have each other's backs, man.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
So at this point, go ahead.
You go ahead.
Okay. So Scruff's actually going to take out these enemies here, even though they're a non-mandatory fight, because it's actually going to be more worth it for him to be able to activate Sin Devil Trigger and rapid slash up the walkway here. Because in Sin Devil Trigger, rapid slash can actually be chained into itself infinitely. So really, really cool movement tech there. Just, you know, taking out the enemies and then just zipping on through.
Yeah, I didn't expect to have enough meter for rapid slashes there, but luckily I did, so we were able to get through there a lot quicker.
There. This is one of the few missions, too. I should note that there's a little bit of RNG in regards to some of the movement, because the elevators in this mission, depending on when you start or when you finish a fight, they'll either be sort of, you know, like at the bottom of the area, the top or the middle, and there's only so much you can do in a given situation in order to gain height, in order to, you know, save a little bit of time there. These two fights, by the way, that Scruff has skipped, these are actually built into the level, just jumping over these chasms. I forgot to mention that. In this game, there's a couple of levels, both of them Nero levels, where you actually have the option to take different paths through the game. And in this case, it just skips a couple of fights. So very easily skipped. You know, I think I've even seen people just skip that first one on their casual playthrough as well. You just kind of jump over the gap to that orb crystal there.
I've seen that.
It's easy to do, but man, it is the worst feeling in the world when you fail it. It's you just sit there with a bunch of angelos wailing on you, and you can't get back up. So yeah, it just
I've also
sucks.
seen that because I've done that.
Yep, happens
I've
to all
definitely
of us.
I've definitely lost some PBs to that one. So at this point, we're going to go to the run back with Urizen. And as you saw in the prologue, Scruff actually had to do a force fail there. You can actually beat that boss. You can beat every force fail in this game. It's just faster for us to do the fail scenario rather than beat him and then be forced to go back to the main menu and then re-enter the mission, etc., etc. So, but this first phase, we actually do have to beat it in order to progress. Because in this fight, there's 2 phases instead of 1. And here we actually used to use a super move called Deep Stinger. But that has actually been replaced with a Beowulf move called Lunar Phase, which I just lovingly like to call the washing machine kicks. So he's just gonna spin on him, and there goes all that damage, and the crystal is broken. And in the second phase here, we're gonna do the same thing, because the more damage that you do to the crystal, the more damage that Urizen will do to you. So we're just gonna break it straight up so that he has maximum damage output. And this is gonna allow Scruff to just get 2 shot by Urizen instead of maybe 3 or 4 shot. It's gonna save him a few seconds waiting on those attacks. almost very nearly 2 shots, and right there is gonna be 3
That's Urzen too.
Did
You
he
fight
just
him
taunt you?
more times. I think he did actually.
He just
He
taunted
did,
you.
yeah. Yeah, he's like, come here, man. It's like, dude, I'm sitting here. All right, I'm trying to relax. Just got mollywopped. And so now in mission 9, this is another V mission. Oh, that's right. Yeah, we got to do the buy here.
Almost forgot.
So on mission 9, we're going to be buying Triggerheart, which extends the duration of Devil Trigger. And then we're going to also be buying Stinger 2, which increases the range on Virgil's dash forward with Mirage Edge. And we also get Judgment Cut End, which is Yamato's super move. You were able to afford it all, right?
Yep, I got it all.
Cool. Excellent, yeah.
One of the perks of running Devil Hunter.
Yeah, that's right. Because on Devil Hunter, you get a lot more orbs than you would on humans. So that not only is really nice for like safety purposes, but it's really good when you get those early no damages, because you can just buy a ton of stuff at this point in the game.
Yeah, for the human run, the orb economy is definitely a lot tighter because doing this mission 9 shop on human is incredibly tight if you happen to miss any of the no damages on missions 1 to 7. So yeah, we don't have to worry about that right now.
Pretty fortunate. This is actually an old skip that Scruff is going to do here. This is something that V used to do as well, and that's where it came from. It's called Tree Skip. And what we're going to be doing is we're just going to be flying straight over a fight trigger here. And the reason that it's called Tree Skip is that we use a tree below us to kind of mark where we're supposed to angle ourselves. So he's just going to kind of just jump forward and then just do Stinger here. And it's just going to go right over the fight. And then he's going to just use Starfall, which is the Beowulf dive kick, trick up, and then do another one, and boom, good to go. Nice and easy peasy. You also see Scruff dipping in and out of Sin Devil Trigger here because Virgil actually increases his movement speed when he's in Sin DT. So just kind of dipping in and out of that will get you more, will save you some time on just running through some areas.
I gotta admit, that skip movement is so cool compared to these.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's sick.
Definitely one of the reasons why I love Virgil, because the movement for him just feels so much better than with any other character in the game.
I don't know, man. Dante might have a word to say about that one. But
I mean, all you do is Dante is just spam tricks to gadgets, alright?
that's that. Okay, well, yeah, I thought you just meant in general. In terms of runs, yeah, I can agree with that one. Sounds like, yeah,
And I'm over here in Devil May Cry 1 just spamming Stinger.
The more things change, the more they stay the same, dude. Also, V would be able to skip this room. He would actually be able to skip this entire mission with a new skewer skip that was found here very recently. I want to say within the last few months. But we actually can't get through that entire. Like there's no invisible wall on the other side of that area, which V can just teleport through. He can teleport through the fight trigger and just be on his merry way. But unfortunately, Virgil does not have these luxuries. He's pretty fast with Rapid Slash, but he's not that fast. Not teleport fast. So he does actually have to do that extra fight there. And even with that, he still he still does this mission really quickly. We're also going to get introduced to, at this point, the Nobodies, which are an enemy returning from DMC1. They are the fastest, or the tankiest, I'm sorry. They're pretty quick too. That's not the point. The tankiest enemy, like normal enemy in the game. And it's not going to look like it, but they have quite a bit of health. I know that Virgil's not the greatest indicator of that because they just got shredded up like Swiss cheese. But trust me on this, okay? They have like the highest. They're one of the tankier enemies anyway. Maybe the only second to Proto Angelo.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Like the first time playing this game, it is really cool to see how much fan service there is with like all the Devil May Cry 1 enemies and like the remixes of the songs.
Oh yeah.
The references to the anime as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely seems like a love letter to the whole DMC series, and that's one of the reasons why I just love this game. I never get tired of running it, whether it's Virgil or your Dante game. I know Cosmic's the same way. So
Yeah.
it's just a really cool game.
This is the start of the Dante sections is here as well here, by the way. So we're gonna be fighting a lot of the regular enemies, like so a lot of the weaker mobs as well, because you'll notice this when we go through these areas where they're introducing characters to us. They'll start over basically the mobs that you face because you know, you're playing a new character. They want you to get used to the controls and everything with them. But in this case, we're Virgil the entire time, so we just get to cut through everybody, nothing doing. Some of the when we get introduced to those weaker mobs, it's just like nice, a breather.
This is also where Lady and Trish would show up in the main game, but unfortunately, Virgil doesn't have anyone cheering him on in the background.
Unfortunately, like the rest of the canon of the game, he has no friends, so nobody is there to cheer him on.
It would have been so cool if they put Nero in the background, just cheering on his dad.
Spoilers. Virgil is his dad.
Just like moon just up in the sky clapping.
Yeah.
Or they could really pull like a catch-22 and just put me there in the background with Nero. That would have been something.
Reading poetry.
You get too close to the edge if you just hear him just reciting it. We have some time for donations here as well.
Sure thing. Well, I do want to quickly point out that we are now at 295,000, so only 5,000 away from that 300,000. And with that, how about we got a $30 donation from Squisher, a $50 dono from Nutria, a $250 donation from Michael Neely. I hope I pronounced that right. Thank you very much for that. And also, we have a $50 donation from SM what? Oops, haven't donated yet today. Better fix that. Oh my. I'm so motivated from this game that I'm stuttering a bit. Oh, and we also got a $50 donation from Chair Virgil saying, "Good luck on your run, SS Stylish." I believe that is a reference to the triple S rank.
So this skip right
game,
here.
I think it's smoking sexy style.
Hey.
So this skip right here that we're going to be doing, there's not actually a name for it. But basically what happens here is that you saw Scruff go into that side room there where he activated a secret encounter. It's there to help you get a collectible item. I believe it's just a Purple Orb fragment. And when you go through that hallway there, after activating that fight there, the game doesn't want to lock you out of that secret fight. So it just doesn't activate the fight that's down that hallway, so we skip an entire fight there because of that. It's one of those skips where nothing happens, so you know it worked. And then this is another room here where Scruff's actually just positioned himself by the stairs. And we're going to see the Infusa Queen here. This enemy is pretty tanky as well. But fortunately, she's not going to get to play the video game.
Yeah, unfortunately, Virgil's a dirty spawn camper, and he's just waiting there with his judgment cuts.
Hey, that's what he is, dude. Oh my goodness, my third eye is opening.
He plays pretty dirty.
And then the Angelo fight here as well. And I think we actually, we do beat here as well.
He uses so much hair gel, he's just embraced the grease. Just the greasiest player.
So here
I don't
in
want to
this-
see him in person, dude. No.
So here in this Angelo section, unlike on Mission 7 where all the enemies were spawned in, here we have to wait for them. So we're going to spawn camp these guys and hit them all with Hell on Earth. And they all go down just like that.
He only got that because he had the 24 kill streak before going into the fight, dude. He's out here just... Everybody else is playing, like, Infinite Warfare, and he's just out here playing Modern Warfare 2. So then a couple lunar phases there, and then Urizen's down. That is I don't. There's some times where there's only so many ways I can say, wow, that was disgusting. Wow,
Yeah.
this character's fast.
Well, especially when you contrast it with what we do on Near Dante and V, right? Because the way you kill the crystal with Dante is you use 4 real impacts, which essentially Dante does this like big Shoryuken move, but it's a little bit slow. So just watching Virgil kind of mow down Rizen's crystal like that is definitely makes me a little bit sad that Dante's kind of slower.
It's kind of cathartic though, right? Because it's like you could be doing a Nero Dante V run, and then you'll lose the run to something like out of your control, or you'll get like an input error, or something, and then it's like, all right, you know what? I need some catharsis. I need to relax. I need to sit down with my tea and just do a run. It's time to play some Virgil. Cut down everything in my path. This is my favorite mission in the game, by the way, and definitely in the run as well, because it has the best boss, which is Cavalier Angelo. It also has some of the best fights here, too, where you get to... The spawns are actually pretty intricate on this mission, because we want to set up for like some double kills on the Chaos and the Riot here, too, because something that actually saves a decent amount of time in Virgil is lining enemies up and grouping them together to all get hit by like the same Judgment Cut bubble. As opposed to having, so like if you kill 2 of the same enemy, or you kill 2 of an enemy with one Judgment Cut sequence, and instead of, having to do an additional sequence, you just have that one, so you save like an entire 2 or 3 seconds there. And it all adds up over the course of the run. Like the minutia in this category is already like very much coming to the forefront, even though this character's only been out since November of last year. A lot of very like big time saves dropped off quite quickly, and the buy list got like trimmed down really hard, and it was very clear that this run was going to be mostly like a movement based run that tested your execution in fights with the Judgment Cuts.
Yeah, that was where a lot of the optimizations came in, because I'd say Cosmic mostly laid down the foundations of the buy list and the route and the general strats for some of the encounters and enemies. And then where me and Cosmic and another runner, Recreate, came in, was mostly just about pushing it further beyond that. So a lot of it just came down to how can we traverse through sections as quickly as possible? How can we make the most use out of Virgil's kit with our limited resources? So a lot of the improvements came down to just good movement tech, and I think that's one of the most compelling aspects of the speedrun, for me at least.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those things that, Virgil really shines at, is because, like I said, a lot of the room for error in the runs for Virgil across all the games that he's in, the margin for error drops off very quickly because he's so powerful in a lot of the games that he appears in that, so he has very simplistic solutions to a lot of situations. So because of that, a lot of the optimizations that come about are they're based around like the minutia of maybe Devil Trigger management, like in Devil May Cry 3, or the out of bounds skips, or the other glitches that are in Devil May Cry Reboot, or the big skips that are in DMC4, along with maintaining concentration in that game and doing like distortion punches to bosses and stuff. And in this game, it's movement. It's entirely movement. So it very much exemplifies or it continues to exemplify what Virgil represents in this series, which is, the easy to pick up, hard to master sort of character in terms of the speedruns.
Yeah, for sure. Also, this is Garion. He dies in Hell on Earth.
Cavalier Angelo, yeah. That boss went down. We have some time for donations as well.
Sounds good. Well, here's one from a name that I can definitely see giving some wonderful gifted subs to the chat. We got a $5 donation from Halcyon. Been looking forward to the DMC5 run all day. So hyped for another great event. Anonymous also donates $5, saying, we're so close to 300K. Can we get a $5 donation train to push us over the line? As a man who loves trains, I gotta say, I'm all for that idea. So chat, let's see if we can get that going. Otherwise, we got a $10 donation from Slickify saying, why did Virgil's phone shut down? It needed more power.
Okay, that's a good one.
That's good. Yeah.
Absolutely
I do feel.
phenomenal.
Go ahead. Yeah, you can keep going if you want to.
Oh, sure. We also got a $25 donation from MacMog. He's faster than Dante and stronger too. He's far too edgy for the Dante crew. Huh. That was a very special request to the DK rap tune, by the way. We also got a $25 donation from MVH. If nobody else will, I'll cheer on Virgil. Go Virgil! We also get a $50 donation from BT Savage. Let's hit 300K.
All right, so this skip right here that's going on is called Bloodwell skip or Gargoyle skip. Normally in this level, you would have to traverse through a lot of these tunnels and do a ton of fights, but the devs were nice enough to make it so that, you know, they thought, you know what, let's give them a way to traverse through this entire mission while skipping like 75% of the fights, if not more. So doing the mission this way, actually, there's a red orb bonus at the end of the mission. If you complete the mission without any Nidhogg hatchlings, which are like the little keys that are, or like this game's version of the rusty key from DMC1. And I'm gonna keep throwing those out, Maxie. I hope you know.
I appreciate it.
So, if you go through this way, it is actually just intended. It's like they thought to themselves probably, you know, how can we reward players for getting through this mission creatively or finding ways to get up to each of these places. And fortunately, Virgil can just jump forward, Stinger, and then teleport upwards and then Stinger again. And the Stinger there, you see, like Scruff is using it right now, has insane verticality on it as well. So it's really good for, instead of, you know, sprinting up these areas, you can just Stinger up them as well. And we're actually going to get into a fight with Urizen where we're supposed to win, because this is the point in the game where Dante gets Sin Devil Trigger, but we've already got that, so we're going to tell ourselves, or our Heartless here, that, hey dude, I've already got Sin Devil Trigger, I don't need that to bust you up. You remember what happened like 2 missions ago? So we're just going to summon the Doppelganger, just stun him up, and then that's going to be it. Just going down easy. Might pop the crystal there. Okay, yep. So you can actually one-cycle this, but it didn't even matter, dude. He just popped it instantly again. Why did I ever doubt Virgil?
One spin cycle, and the crystal's gone.
Dude, I wish that my clothes were done in one spin cycle like that. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, that's the beauty of Virgil. He's so powerful that even if you make a small mistake like that, he can easily just clean it right up.
So this mission right here, this is actually the only co-op mission in the game. But like I said, Virgil doesn't have any friends, so you can't actually play co-op with this character at all on this mission. The cameo system that is normally implemented in DMC5 is not around for this guy. So there's no network options, so sad face. We do have some time for donations here as well, because this is just kind of a filler mission. We just kind of have to drop down through the floors here.
All right, sure. Let's see what else we got among our wonderful donation messages. How about a $15 donation from Kettle Bear saying, "Sweet dreams to those going to bed." Well, it is a little bit late over here, so I totally understand that. And indeed, to those going to bed today, or right now, sweet dreams indeed. We also got a $25 donation from Blue Circles. Always got to donate during Devil May Cry. Thank you for always showcasing DMC games, and thanks to everyone for making GDQ the amazing event that it is. We also got a $250 donation from Sharky. Every time Scruffington runs an awesome game in a GDQ, my home team has a chance to win the Stanley Cup in overtime. Here's to watch our boy Scruff put on an amazing show tonight. Let's go! Yes, please get another run in next year. Wishing you best of luck to your teams. Oops, sorry, can you say that again?
Oh, I'm just saying thank you so much, Sharky. He's one of my good friends.
Absolutely. Oh, and how about a $500 anonymous donation saying, here's a little more motivation?
That last room, by the way, that was one of 2 times that we will see Judgment Cut end in the run. Judgment Cut end is, like I said, the super move for Yamato, and that is just a screen-wide clear, basically. So we use that to pop all the spawners at once. Also, there's some nice grappling hooks in this mission. Did you want to mention that, Maxie?
The grappling hook? What do they call
The
it?
grappling
Grips?
The grim grips,
The
dude.
grim grips.
I'm sorry, that grappling hook wasn't edgy enough. We got to remember where we're at here.
Yeah, we're playing Virgil right now. No, but yeah, those aren't usually there for V. V can't really do any of that movement tech. Oh my god.
Yeah.
1 of 3 down already. These bosses are so fast. But yeah, those Grim Grips are really helpful for movement, and it just makes this level even faster for Virgil.
Yeah, so go ahead. Yeah.
And these bosses have less health as well, so they go down even faster than the original fights.
Yeah, basically the context for this mission is this is the last V mission, and he's essentially playing through a classic DMC boss rush against Artemis, Goliath, and Cavalier. And they all have a lot less health than their original versions, which makes it more entertaining when Virgil just kind of mops the floor with them.
That's true, yeah, because then you just get to really watch the health drain down. I would have liked to see, honestly, a case here where you were forced to pick back your weapons up. Like, I feel like if V was going to lose all his summons here, Virgil should have lost all of his weapons. But, oh, by the way, this boss is going to die, like, really quickly, too. That was just... Ay.
Yeah, this is Cavalier Angelo from Mission 11. So here he only dies in 2 hits from Hell on Earth instead of 3.
And on Human, I'll die in 1 hit there.
Back to the Grim Grips. Dude, this level's so fast as Virgil. What the heck?
It's sort of so crazy, dude. So crazy. Big shout outs to Capcom for putting those there. It was a very like mindful decision, I think, to realize that like that would be better than just having you run through these areas as Virgil, where normally, you know, you would have to be on the kiddie scooter with V, and honestly nothing tops the kiddie scooter in terms of movement. So they probably realized they needed to give Virgil something to compensate for that. So
yeah, it shows that they were definitely thinking about how the player would actually navigate through these levels as Virgil, instead of just you know, inserting Virgil into the level and letting the player figure everything else out.
yeah.
I love this animation.
Oh yeah, where he's going down the hill, dude.
He looks like he's just going too fast, like he's about to fall over.
That looks like
Scrape
me
his
when I've
knee.
been running on Ring Fit too long, dude.
Yeah.
All right, so this mission here, mission 15, this is another mission with branching pathways in it. And so it took us a little bit to figure out like what was faster here, but we actually ended up on the top path here is going to be faster, and then the bottom path at the next fork is going to be faster. So Scruff's just going to use the dash from Stinger here, because you can get a jump off of a ledge here, and then you can just use that to get into the room with the spikes, and then you can just clear right over the spikes. And wow, that was a lot of height. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, I'm not used to locking onto the whatever that was. Oh, it was an orb tree there. Yeah. Sometimes that can happen if you're too high up.
There we go, got them grouped together, very nice.
So these are, you've seen, you guys might have seen these wheelie boys before. I guess you can use your GDQ spinning moves for these ones, but essentially I don't think they attack Virgil here until Virgil starts attacking them. Is that right, Cosmic?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
That's how that fight works.
So this fight's relatively safe.
You almost didn't let that first Beyblade lizard hit the floor. That was pretty sick.
Also, this is insert defensive lineup team that's bad here. Like, I can't even say it's the Cleveland Browns anymore, because apparently their defensive line. I don't know anything about sports, by the way, but apparently their defense is nice
Yeah,
now, so I can't
just
even
pick
make
a
that
sports team with bad defense and pretend the Angelos are bad, right?
So we just clear on through those hallways very quickly. And then we just clean up the Behemoth here. This is going to be another instance here where the triple judgment cuts from STT are going to be really, really useful. Because... Okay, yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I was thinking of styling on these guys, because Virgil has a really cool animation where if he breaks his, the Angelo shield with Yamato regular slashes, it just does this really cool effect. But no stylish strats today, unfortunately.
They weren't playing ball.
No. Finally, they saw what happened to their boys in the tunnels, and they're like, we can't be messing around, dude. This guy here means business. And then this next fight here, this is actually like a really good fight to get clusters of judgment cuts onto, because a lot of enemies just spawn in on at once, but you also have to make sure that you get the Judeca, that purple enemy with blades there, like immediately, and then you can prioritize the other enemies just to cut them down. And there's actually like 5 or 6 enemies there, and you saw that Scruff took out all of them with like 1 rep of judgment cuts, so really good like minor optimizations there.
So coming up here is Malphus. We used to use Hell on Earth to take her down, but it's actually faster to just use Sin Devil Trigger and Doppelganger together. As you can see, yeah, her health bar is just, it was there, and now it's not anymore.
I think that was probably one of the more surprising things to me as this run got optimized, was that the more that we toyed around with different strats, the more like times that we ended up using judgment cuts on the bosses. Because you would think, right, that the super moves is what you would be using, but judgment cut is just this really, really powerful tool that they gave the character straight off the bat, and it just covers so many options that it ends up replacing these moves that are designed to essentially be nukes. So it really speaks to, you know, how front-loaded they made Virgil's kit. I assume it was probably for the legendary Dark Knight move, you know, tackling that from a new game perspective. But nothing doing. We have time for donations here as well, because this is, we're just kind of going down to go up here, as Dante would say.
Perfect. Well, before I get to some people that want to say hi, I do want to mention a few of the people that did jump on the aforementioned $5 donation train. Anonymous giving $5 saying choo choo. Tochli? I believe this is pronounced Tochli. Very sorry for butchering that, but on to the $5 train toward 300K. We got Jack Attack with $5 saying, jumping on the $5 train. So excited to see Devil May Cry 5. It's my favorite game, jackpot. And Sam gives $100 saying, now I'm feeling motivated. We also got Nanaki Emmy, good luck to Scruff. Sure, I've had to get up at 3:30 a.m. to donate, and you aren't running Final Fantasy VII Remake, but community is community. Now, let's go fast and raise money for an awesome cause. Heart.
Oh yeah, big shout out to the Final Fantasy VII Remake community. Lots of good people there.
We also got a $10 donation from Igna77. Gotta donate when my man Scruff is making some devils cry. Good luck, and remember to have fun. You got this.
Hey, thanks, Igna. Much appreciated.
Fellow Virgil runner there. Coming from DMC4 though. Much love, Igna.
Yeah, he was
Speaking
actually
of
running
jackpot.
the DMC3 earlier.
Oh, nice. Speaking of jackpot, by the way, from that donation, in this story, Virgil mentions to Dante that he doesn't like saying jackpot, or he doesn't remember it, or doesn't remember liking it, or something like that. But then you get to hear him. We all get to hear him for, you know, the most of this run saying jackpot at the end of these judgment cut strings. So Virgil, I'm gonna need you to make up your mind about whether or not you like saying jackpot.
It's like that SpongeBob episode where Squidward doesn't like the Krabby Patties. He really secretly does. It's exactly how Virgil is.
He is kind of he is like the Squidward of DMC, now that
Lol day.
I could see that parallel there. Also, again, we can do 3 Judgment Cut bubbles. Cerberus has 3 heads. A little bit of catharsis for all of you that got stuck at this boss on DMC3. You activated easy mode on yourselves. We're gonna activate easy kill on Cerberus.
Cerberus just melts so fast, dude.
You can't pet the dog in this game, unfortunately, but you can do that. This strat here, by the way, that Scruff is going to do, this is actually going to be about using the power of Trigger Heart and the amount of regen that you get on Devil Trigger to infinitely keep uptime on the Doppelganger. So he's going to build up the concentration meter a little bit here. And then get that going, and then he's going to have enough Devil Trigger stored for when he activates Doppelganger, he should be able to just loop Urizen here. This is the final Urizen fight as well. And he can just keep you see it sort of just offsetting the regen, you know, or the drain on the Devil Trigger. It's just going to totally pretty much offset it as long as he keeps it going. If not, nothing doing. That boss is stunned. He's not going anywhere, dude. And then boss is down. Very nice.
Definitely one
You
of
killed
my
him when he was doing a
favorite missions.
backflip.
Oh yeah, I've killed him while he's in the air too, and it just looks funny.
All right, so time for Maxie's favorite stage, Mission 18, where we get to fight all of V's pets. Because at this point, Virgil has now come back in the story. You know, he's been fused back into himself by V and Urizen combining. So Dante has to go and fight the images or the mirages of Virgil's nightmares from his time as Mello Angelo in DMC1. So we've not only got these big throwback bosses here, we've also got the DMC1 remix. There's the other DMC1 reference. And so again, they're just gonna fall right to Judgment Cut. And Scruff wants to be sure that he picks up the white orbs that are in every fight in this mission, because then that's gonna be where he gets a lot of his SDT from. And he's gonna be using that to actually skip a phase on Nightmare. And so normally when you go and fight Nightmare, which is the big golem that V summons in this game, if you get him down to a certain amount of health, or you like, I think it's a timer. So I couldn't find my words there for a second. So there's a timer for how long you have to deplete his health down to a certain point. And if you don't deplete it down to that certain point, he'll teleport away, and it costs you like 30 seconds to a minute because you have to take out Shadow and Griffin. It's not a nice time. It's slow. So we're not going to do that phase. We're going to skip through it entirely, and we're going to seek to deplete his health bar super fast with the Judgment Cuts and using Doppelganger along with Sin Devil Trigger. Here we only have to fight Shadow, by the way, even though both Shadow and Griffin are in this fight. Don't gotta fight both of them, just gotta take out Shadow. And then once we do that and we get into the Nightmare fight, we'll be able to, you'll see just how quickly the health bar depletes there, and then he's just gonna melt sort of into this orb, and that'll do it. So fortunately, here's what you saw Scruff got hit there. So he doesn't have the full concentration meter here, but because he's going to be in SDT and he'll have the 3 Judgment Cut bubbles up, he's going to build 3 times the concentration meter. So it's not going to be too detrimental to the strat here.
Yeah, that just fills instantly.
Yep, exactly. All right, so I actually want to do this. I want to explain this next boss really quickly. So they actually did give Virgil a unique boss in this game. This is the first time that Virgil has had his own unique boss in a mainline DMC series. We're actually going to fight, surprise, his brother, Dante. So they didn't make us do the Virgil mirror match like they would in DMC3. Dante has 2 different forms that you fight him in. He has his starter equipment, which are Rebellion, the Shotgun, Ebony and Ivory, and Balrog, which are his gauntlets. And then he has Mission 20, where he has everything available. So he has his own SDT, he has Cavalier, he has King Cerberus, the nunchucks, everything. Here we're going to be trying to die to him as quickly as possible because we're going to be using a Red Orb Revive, which is the 3rd tier of a Red Orb Revive, when you go into this death screen, it will actually take 50% of an enemy's current health. This includes bosses. So you're just gonna see Dante's health go boom, goodbye. And on top of that, it's also gonna fill our concentration meter as well as our devil trigger. So we're gonna get to do doppelganger. And now as this fight wraps up, I'm gonna shut up because the best theme in the game is about to play. And I want everybody to hear it before Scruff calls for time.
Yeah, so time's gonna come up on the next mission as soon as Dante's health bar reaches 0. Unfortunately, we have to get through this one, and Dante's being very uncooperative.
All right, here we go, everybody. Bury the light. That never gets old, dude. Never gets old.
Kneel before weak down. Check. Kneel before weak down. Check. Check. Kneel before weak. Check.
And time.
Very nice, dude.
Yeah, so if you're wondering why I didn't use the death strats on there, I figured that would have been a cheap way to end it. So, you know, let's just fight Dante straight up, because this is game stuff.
A man with guts and honor.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, that was Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition. Before I sign off here, I do want to give a few thank yous and shout-outs. So first, I want to give a big thank you to Games Done Quick for having me here, as well as all of the donators who helped meet the Devil Hunter incentive and who voted for the EX colors. Very much appreciated. I also want to give a big shout-out to the entire Devil May Cry community, both speed and style, as well as everyone who has supported me personally throughout my speedrunning journey. Because I started out running games like Super Mario Galaxy and Banjo-Kazooie. Eventually I moved on to Final Fantasy games, and now I'm here running DMC. So I've been running a lot of different games over the years, and I'm very appreciative of everyone who stuck with it. I also want to thank our host, Tempest here, as well as my commentators, Maxi Lopes and DECosmic. I know Devil May Cry means a lot to all of us, and DMC5 is a really special game to me, so I'm happy we could share this all together. Other than that, if you're interested in seeing more action game speedruns, feel free to follow me on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, at TheScruffington. And also make sure you stick around for the rest of GDQ, because Gallus Rainey is going to be running some Bayonetta right after this, and then Cosmic is also going to be running some Vanquish later in the week. Other than that, do you guys have anything else you want to add?
I just want to say, as somebody that has, run this game alongside you for the better part of a year now, dude, I am so proud of you. Good job, dude. Well-deserved opportunity. Great run. You did awesome, dude. I look forward to running more with you, man.
Oh, yeah.
And thank you, GDQ, as well, for having me. Yeah, that's it from me.
And I want to say that it's because of runners like you, Scruff, and you, Cosmic, that the Devil May Cry community has thrived. I've been a part of it since 2016, and the night that I started the Devil May Cry speedrunning community Discord, I did not think it was going to get to this point where all of these games are being ran by so many people and being optimized. It's kind of wild to think back. So thank you very much for having me for this, and thanks for keeping things pretty cool.
Used to love saying that.
You guys are pretty cool.
Stylish.
Pretty cool, yeah. Keeping things stylish.
All right, well, I guess that's it for us. Thanks everyone for watching.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition by my pal, TheScruffington. Thank you so much, Scruff, for that little shout out at the end. And it was such a great honor to share my first hosted GDQ run with you. Good pal, great guy, and what a game with a spectacular finale. I'm going to read a couple more donations before we toss it on over to the next host. And let's see here. We got $25 from Zabkazi saying, I am the storm that is approaching with a donation. Can't help donating during a speed run of my favorite DMC game. It certainly makes me motivated. And we also got a $250 donation from Drake saying, love catching GDQ anytime I can. This year, my wife and I are blessed to be able to afford a house and to donate in the same year. Can't wait to catch the rest when I wake up tomorrow. All right, my wonderful friends of the chat and of the audience watching this whenever, wherever. My name is Tempest Mask 1000, and that'll be all I'm doing for tonight, for today. But do not worry, I will be back soon. Hopefully, once we get to do Halo 2. So that's a little later on this week. But in the meantime, keep up the wonderful work because we are almost at 300,000. In the meantime, we're going to throw it to a break. Before I sign off officially, I'd like to give a special thanks to one of our sponsors, Revita by Dear Villagers. Revita, a unique, nostalgic, and tense roguelike, roguelite. An infinite array of possibilities to diversify your runs. Already 4 playable worlds. More to come in the future. Try the early access at revitagame.com. And with that, once again, I will be signing off for the night, but do not worry because my good friend Musical Daredevil will be taking over for the upcoming Bayonetta run by Galacernet, and it is going to be awesome. So I hope you guys are ready for some wonderful angel busting action. Again, my name is Tempest Mask 1000, and I will be seeing you later on once we get around to the Halo 2 run, as well as Manifold Garden. Until then, stay wonderful, chat. And until we meet next, I for now say ciao, amici, and Tempest out.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Summer Games Done Quick 2021 Online. I'm Musical Daredevil, and I will be your host for our very next run, Bayonetta, run by Gallus Rinny. For those of you who have just joined us, we are raising funds for Doctors Without Borders, Médecins Sans Frontières. All donations through this event will be going towards benefiting that charity. And of course, before we have our next run, we are actually going to be taking it over to the prize desk with Scent. So, Scent, what do you have for us?
Well, thanks for asking, Daredevil. I have prizes. What else would I have? I mean, come on, it's not like I'm gonna have a watermelon or something. But for real, there are some absolutely amazing prizes to talk about, and all of the prizes I'm going to be talking about are available from now until the end of Bayonetta, which, by the way, is going to be our next run in the marathon. So if you're interested in being able to win any of the prizes that I'm going to talk about, or any of the prizes that are available in this block, you need to get your donations in before the end of Bayonetta if you haven't already. And there are actually just so many amazing prizes in this block. Paul Bunyan sent us in a beautiful framed Moai papercraft artwork that I showed off earlier. Super cool. It's just entirely made of paper. It's got the Moai enemy from Mario Odyssey in it. Looks wonderful. Rectech EXE sent in a beautiful isometric Bowser's Keep print. I don't know if anyone else had this experience, but it really brought me back to the days of playing Super Mario RPG on my Super Nintendo when I was a young child. Getting to that cutscene where you saw, Bowser's castle from Bowser's way when you're looking down at it, and then not understanding what a save block was, turning off the console, and not understanding why you had to play the entire game again. Other Marios didn't work that way. Why did this one work this way? I was not a smart child. Great game though, and a beautiful print. We also, of course, have so many other great things. Germstar sent in a rainbow mushroom cross stitch. It's about yay big. It's in an embroidered hoop, and it's just all the different colors of mushrooms in a rainbow across the hoop. It's super beautiful. For pictures of all of those and more, you gotta head over to GamesDoneQuick.com. Click the prizes button in the top up here. It's gonna show you all of the amazing prizes available in the marathon. But there were a couple of specific ones that I really wanted to bring back home and show off to all of you. So first off, from Carrie Fry and Fangamer, we have the absolutely wonderful Hollow Knight Wanderer's Journal. Now, this is a $10 minimum donation, again, from now until the end of Bayonetta. All the prizes I'm going to be talking about end after our next run, Bayonetta, so you got to get those donations in immediately. And it is just amazing. It is full of Carrie's wonderful, wonderful art of all the characters and creatures in Hollow Knight. It comes in this absolutely beautiful book. Look how shiny and blue and silver it is. It fits the Hollow Knight aesthetic perfectly, and it's amazing. Thank you so much for sending it out to us, Fangamer. We are really appreciative of that. There are so many great prizes. Prizes like this Fuse Glass Yoshi egg. Katie Hughes sends us this fused glass Yoshi egg, and I mean, just look at it. It's a little bit difficult to see at this distance, but this is not like a single continuous piece. This is made of individual tiles of glass that have been melted down onto this canvas to kind of form a cohesive image. It's almost like a glass version of a parlor. It's just a super cool effect. It's really textured, especially when you get up close to it, and the end result looks beautiful. You can't deny that. It's a $15 minimum donation from now until the end of Bayonetta, so make sure to get those donations in. Now, from Mr. Ed Nigma, we have two lovely amigurumis here. We've got Hornet, and Hornet's got everything you need to make a great Hornet amigurumi. We got, the horns. We got, of course, the scarf, and of course, we got the way to get good. Get good. And Hornet's not alone because Hornet comes with the vessel. Everyone loves the vessel. The vessel's got a unique look and, of course, a Mothwing cloak. I actually just realized how detailed this Mothwing cloak is. It's a little bit hard to see on camera, but maybe I can kind of angle it right for you. Each individual strand of the cloak kind of tapers off here to give it, kind of like that winged flourished effect you get in the game. They are an absolutely beautiful pair of amigurumi, and they are a $15 donation for the two of them. I also just want to give a big shout out again to Mr. Ed Nigma and the entire Nigma community on TikTok for coming together and sending us so many lovely amigurumi prizes. You all are awesome. Now, from Retroverse, we have this beautiful Nintendo Switch. There's really not a lot to say about this because the console speaks for itself. It's got tons of great games on it. It's got, Odyssey, Hyrule Warriors, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. What more could you need? Breath of the Wild 2 is coming out. You'll want a Switch, and this is only a $20 minimum donation for this new in-box red blue Joy-Con Nintendo Switch. Get those donations in, and thank you so much to Retroverse for sending that out to us. Now, to follow up that Switch, we of course have one of those great games on the Switch from our friends over at Fangamer and Team Cherry. We have this Hollow Knight Collector's Edition for the Switch. It is an absolutely beautiful collector's edition of the game. Comes with a little vessel charm. I believe it comes with a full map of the inside of the game, a steelbook for the game. So many great things inside this box. But you know what? You're not just getting the collector's edition of the game because you're also getting this absolutely lovely Shade plushie. It's a plushie of the Shade from Hollow Knight when the vessel does die. And it has a secret cool function. When you squeeze it, its eyes light up and it plays the Shade theme from the game. That's so cool. I love it so much. And it's seriously very huggable. I would keep hugging this if it wouldn't destroy the battery. It's a $20 minimum donation. And again, they come together as a set. So $20, you could win a collector's edition of the game for Switch and this absolutely beautiful Shade plushie. Make sure to get those donations in. Now, for a $25 minimum donation, we have a really cool piece of artwork here from Maddie A. Let's take a look at it right there. Right there. Second time's the charm. This is a Mario Odyssey themed diamond painting. So basically, every one of those dots you see is a little like colored rhinestone, and again, a similar, mosaic perler effect. So that's just hundreds and hundreds of rhinestones moving around across that across the canvas there to generate that image. It's super cool. It's a super unique art style. I'm a big fan of it, and the end result is beautiful. Love the composition of it, of course. You got Bowser, he's got the top hat on, got the wedding attire. You got Mario holding Cappy. You got the whole crew behind Bowser standing on top of the world because we're going to the moon. It's Super Mario Odyssey. How could you not want to go there? It's so cool. You should head over to gamesdonequick.com, check out a full-sized image of it because this thing is actually massive, and see all the details that you're going to need to see about it. But it is a $25 minimum donation, and you got to get that donation in before Bayonetta if you want a chance to win it. Thank you so much to Maddie A for sending that out to us. Now, of course, I can't talk about prizes without talking about the grand prizes, and we have a couple of absolutely amazing grand prizes for you. From SkyTech EXE, huge shoutouts to SkyTech Gaming and SkyTech EXE. We have a custom built PC, and this thing is just stacked from top to bottom. It's got a 3070 GPU, it's got a 750 plus gold rated power supply, it's got a great CPU. You can check out the full build over at gamesdonequick.com, but this thing is incredible. I have no idea how they sourced the parts for it. I'm not sure I want to know how they sourced the parts for it, but the important thing is they did. They sent it to us. They were like, hey, make good use of this, raise some money for charity, and we hope we will because it's a $250 cumulative donation, but that's throughout the entire marathon. So $250 throughout the entire event is going to get you entered to that prize. But wait, there's more because we also have your choice of a heroic replica from our friends over at Heroic Replicas. Again, huge shout outs to Dave at Heroic Replicas for making all of these possible. You have so many amazing options, and you can head over to gamesdonequick.com to check them all out. Of course, we have the Master Sword. We have Dark Link Sword is pictured here. I'm just going to let them scroll through for a while because there are so many cool choices here. The Hylian Shield. How could you not want a Hylian Shield? Again, rando runners, you need a shield. There's a lot of checks it makes easier. It just makes life easier. The Chris Sword from the Legend of Zelda animated cartoon. It's not a good cartoon, but it is certainly a great sword. You should check it out. The Goddess Sword. There are so many amazing options that you can pick from. And if you don't like Zelda, there are some great non Zelda options too, like the Buster Sword. It came up at the perfect time. It even comes with materia orbs. You get to sock it into the sword itself, just like in the game. How about a functional instrument? How about a functional Zora guitar or bass? That's one of the options. There's also, He Man's Sword of Power. The Thundercat's Sword of Omens, the Diamond Sword from Minecraft. The options are all there. You gotta head over to gamesdonequick.com, check out the tracker. It's got a full album of all of the choices as well as a full list of everything you can pick from. And thank you so much to our friends over at Heroic Replicas for making that happen. Anyway, that's gonna be all of it from me tonight. Remember, if you have any questions, you can always head over to gamesdonequick.com and check out the tracker page because the tracker is the source of truth for everything. It's going to show you all of the available incentives that you can put your donations towards because you don't got to donate for the prizes. You can donate for all of the amazing incentives that we have in the marathon. It's going to show you all of the great speed runs that you can watch, and you really don't want to miss any of them. I'm staying up tonight to watch Bayonetta. I hope all of you do as well because it's going to be an amazing run. Looking forward to it. And of course, all of the amazing prizes that you can win by donating for the event. Daredevil, why don't you take it away and get us all excited for Bayonetta?
Oh, I am absolutely going to get all of you excited because we just passed $300,000 raised for Doctors Without Borders Médecins Sans Frontières. Thank you all so much for your generous donations. And of course, with all that hype, we are going to be taking a quick break. So stay tuned because Bayonetta is coming up very shortly.